Post-implementation review Team 5 studied ALEPH, an integrated library system. This team consists of
Tatiana Chinicalo,
Hannah Jones,
Sandy Loon,
Karen Rizzo Turan,
Amy Schiebel,
and Keegan Wolf. ALEPH is a product of Ex Libris, a company that specializes in library management systems, and was brought to Metropolitan State University by Minnesota Project for Automated Library Services, or MNPALS for short. MNPALS is responsible for implementing all library systems into all Minnesota State College and universities while managing the ALEPH servers at their headquarters in Mankato, Minnesota. ALEPH is a type of library management system designed to help library staff manage library resources, process sales, and perform other tasks that librarians handle on a day-to-day basis. Primarily, ALEPH is a system that the school uses to keep track of a variety of different library resources such as books, magazines, ebooks, journals, and other media-based resources. These materials are kept track through title, author name, international standard book number, publisher, and other determinant factors. These tracking methods are then used by students and library staff alike. Students can access ALEPH through any of the school computers to search for resources that then can be found in the library, while staff use the system to add, delete, and manage resources as they come and go from the library. The purpose of ALEPH is to help promote learning. It is designed to make it simple to find the resources that you need in the library while at the same time being designed to help library staff do their job more efficiently. Due to the rapid advancement in technology, the benefit of ALEPH over other library management systems is that it's up to date in its capabilities. Some of the added benefits come from allowing students to have 24/7 access to the system, provided they have a student ID and password, and to help staff with the numerous functions ALEPH can perform.
The ALEPH system is not hosted in the cloud, but rather on-premise at Metropolitan State University. It is hosted on a local server at the campus library and co-hosted at the Minnesota State University Data Center in Mankato. The application itself is installed in each computer and operates like an extern. Students are able to check out books and use academic databases without needing to subscribe or pay for them. When off campus or outside of school hours, students and staff are able to use ALEPH with their MetroStar ID and password. ALEPH provides some of their data on their Discovery service, Summon, or the OneSearch box that holds the library's catalogs, online databases, and journal subscriptions. In case of unforeseen circumstances, ALEPH is routinely backed up in case data is ever lost. They have daily snapshots that are stored and designated in a secondary location. At Metropolitan State University, access to ALEPH is run by clearance levels. The first level, which is the most basic level, are for the students. The students have access to catalogs, ebooks, magazines, and other resources where they are able to check in and out. However, students do not have permission to edit any of these files. The second level of clearance are for student workers. They are given a special login to edit specific parts of the catalog. They can also create special placeholder records for the cataloging librarian to edit later on. The highest level of clearance are the cataloging librarians. They have their own login where they are able to edit any part of the catalog without needing permission. They can add and remove books whenever needed. However, when there is server downtime, the cataloging librarians are unable to do their job. In this case, they need to contact MNPALS and file an incident report and identify the level of severity. MNPALS hopes to solve the level 3 and 4 in a business week and levels 1 and 2 within 4 hours. The Metropolitan State University Library tracks their materials with a barcoding system, and the ALEPH integrated system can track the circulation frequency of each individual item. Using these two tools, the library staff is able to determine what materials they need to keep or remove from their catalog. Databases and journals are purchased through ebook vendors' websites. They can use their tracking statistics online software to measure the data usage in terms of how many individual IP addresses went through the online database. If issues arise with the subscriptions, the school would then need to contact the vendor to resolve the problem. For Minnesota state colleges and universities, there are policies and system procedures in place. Section 5.22, Acceptable Use of Computers and Information Technology Resources, establishes responsibilities for acceptable use of Minnesota state colleges and universities' information technology resources. In this section, it covers responsibilities of system employee users, including security and privacy, application of government records and laws, university policies and procedures, and enforcement. Section 5.23, Security and Privacy of Information Resources, states all users are responsible for privacy, security, and appropriate use of the resources they gave authority, access, and control over. This policy applies to all users in any form or storage media. It goes in depth about password usage and handling, encryption, data sanitization, information security, incident response, and anti-malware installation, payment card industry, and many other aspects. The PALS library system established the need for a new integrated library system. Then the library performed the formal analysis for the new system. The initial application was initiated by the U of M. Then the state of Minnesota Higher Education got involved in the funding process. The next step in the process was to pick one system that would be beneficial to everyone. In making this decision, everyone was included: directors, librarians, PAL staff, staff from Gateway, and from the U of M. All participants had unique experiences in the library. Then a project management team was created, and they had to create various modules of the system. They would also collaborate with their team and other coworkers to figure out what was needed and desired for the specific modules. The implementation process of ALEPH was performed by MN-PALS and Metropolitan State IT staff. The role of the MN-PALS was handling the majority of implementation process while mentoring the Metro State IT staff through the process. Prior to this, Ex Libris set up servers in order to train MN-PALS staff. After the implementation was complete, MN-PALS left the team to oversee any problems, as a team of specialists had created function tests to set bare minimum requirements for the program. From there, they identified any problems and resolved them. After this, ALEPH was brought on in more libraries. They were divided into groups to test the system. The team of specialists then tested their areas of programs, and then they took what they found back to the project lead. As things were smoothed out, it was then implemented into other libraries. Before ALEPH was fully implemented, MNSCU, Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, almost stopped the new system because it appeared loss of functionality because of the second guessing. It took much longer to implement than expected. The PALS team had conflicting ideas on how ALEPH should operate. MN-PALS therefore had a motivated speaker come in to help address this problem amongst the team and to help with accepting that change was needed. With the help of this motivated speaker, both MN-PALS and Metropolitan State University library employees developed the new skills while working with ALEPH. The workflow changed during the stage of developing and installing ALEPH. The PALS staff had to learn about XLM, XSL. MN-PALS tried to keep as much IT work in-house because when work had to be redirected back to the vendor didn't always target what MN-PALS was looking for. ALEPH was a very large project that involved 63 libraries. What made this project effective was holding countless meetings for key players to gain as much knowledge as they could and acceptance of the changes. Providing MN-PALS and the library staff with webinars and extremely thorough training and testing all helped everyone involved to get familiar with ALEPH. Throughout the project, we used multiple resources. The biggest data source we found useful was MN-PALS. We were in constant communication with MN-PALS with all of our questions for this project. Another source we found to be very useful was the Metropolitan State University library staff. They were very helpful in the beginning of this project, but there came a point where they were no longer able to answer our questions in regards to the tech environment and system assessment and recommendations. For any questions we couldn't get answers to, the team resorted to searching the internet to tie up any loose ends. The biggest lesson we learned was how important continuous communication is for a team, especially for a team that's working solely online. Another thing we learned is how important it is to keep to a schedule and assign people with specific parts to work on. With every group project we are in, we learn how to work as a team a little bit better. We understand our strengths a little bit more and are able to use them on the next group project we are a part of.